Hello and welcome. For those of you who are just joining us, my name is Izzy, and this is my mini-series, all about Interlochen. Just like the name says, today we will be exploring all the ins and outs of the wonderful art camp that brings joy to so many young artists around the world. For this first video, we will be exploring the daily life of the artist. Let's begin. In the morning, you hear the first thing you ever want to hear, the loud noise of reveille. Yes, that is right, the magnificent sound of the trumpet blowing in your ears. And it goes on, and on, and on, and on, until you just want to scream, "I'm awake!" But you're not. When are you ever awake? At that early in the morning. And so you wake up from that lovely noise, and all you want to do is go back to sleep. But at this point, the lights are up and your counselors are screaming at you to get your butt out of bed. In Intermediate Girls, there are two main camp places. There's Lakeside and Meadows. Lakeside for the younger girls, Meadows for the older ones. So there's not a ton of differences. It's more like where you're living and how many people there are, just stuff like that. But one of the big differences is in the morning when you wake up. In Lakeside, what you're going to do is you're going to wake up all tired and everything, and you're going to have to put on your uniform. It's cold, you're tired, I know, it's horrible, and you have to just struggle feeling around, trying to put your uniform on. This is not the time to look pretty, or put on makeup, or brush your teeth or any of that stuff. If you really have to brush your teeth, go ahead. If you really have to go to the bathroom, go ahead. But mostly you're just trying to get outside so you can go to breakfast. In Meadows, it's basically the same thing, except you're just trying to get outside. Just put your shoes on and get out there so that you can get back in and be warm and get ready. So in Lakeside and in Meadows, what's going to happen is you're going to be in a circle, they're going to do roll call, you're just going to say your number, and they're going to make announcements for that day. So if there's options for the evening, what that's going to be, if there's shows, everything that you need to know, they're just going to shout at you in very loud, chipper voices that are so annoying. And you're going to have to sing and dance, and that's the last thing you're going to want to do, but do it, because it actually wakes you up and it can be kind of fun. And it is also really fun to annoy other people by doing that, because it is quite annoying when your friend is dancing over you and you are just glaring. So have fun with that. And then after that, Lakeside gets to go to breakfast. And you're going to have to wait in line unless you had Honor Cabin, which brings me to capers. Capers are the chores that you're going to do, and you're going to have an hour to do them. So in Meadows, that's what we're going to be doing first. And so in that hour, that is your time to get ready, to brush your teeth, to do all that stuff, and do your chores. Do your chores, because if you don't, everyone will hate you. And there's generally a chart, so they know if it's like your job. So do it. And so if you have the highest score on capers, you're Honor Cabin, and so you're going to get to go first to breakfast. And there is a few Honor Cabins in each division, each like Lakeside or Meadows or whatever. There's like different segment things. I don't really know how it works. And so for breakfast, you go to Pinecrest. Ah, yes, the glorious Pinecrest, infamous for its food. It's not very good. They serve potatoes at every meal, and you will get so sick of potatoes. I can't eat potatoes to this day because it's a lot. It's a lot of potatoes. But you can make some really good jokes of it. So there's Pinecrest, and there's yogurt at breakfast. I actually really like breakfast because they have breads and stuff that you can toast and put stuff on. Life hack, toast some bread or a bagel, and then you put like butter on it, and you put cream cheese and cinnamon sugar and like honey, any of those combinations. I'd at least do 2 of those things. It's so good. Who cares about being healthy? We're moving all day. It's okay. And so in Meadows, you just do the same thing, except first you're doing your capers, like I already said. And then after breakfast, if you were in Meadows, you can go to the coffee tent. I don't know if you're really supposed to do this, but I'm pretty sure it's okay. So if you have some money, you can go get coffee, and that's really nice. Try to ask for the artist, now it's called, but only if you can handle a lot of caffeine, because it will make your head explode if you cannot. Uh, it's happened to me like 4 times, but they're really good. So after that, you can head to your classes. And so classes are going to be very different according to your majors. Even if you're an arts theater major, you may not have the same classes as other theater majors. I know that at least for theater, you have like 4 hours of like doing your play and stuff, and then you have 1 hour theater tech, but it's really going to change from major to. After the first set of classes, you're going to have lunch and then rest hour. So for lunch, you are supposed to go to Pinecrest, but I know some people do go to Mofro. Mofro is the restaurant place there, and mostly what it has is frozen yogurt, and it is, I don't know if I can express to you how amazing it is, because it is just that great. It is a wonderful source of God, and you should just cherish your Mofro. It is $1 and it's like a huge cone. It is amazing. So yeah, you can go there, but you really should go to Pinecrest. And so after lunch, you get like a little bit of time for that, and then you have rest hour. And so rest hour is one of those things that can be really annoying on some days and really nice on others. It just really depends how you're feeling on that day. And you're allowed to have a little iPod or something as long as you can't text on it. So you can play on that during that time. Or write letters and stuff. I don't really write letters, nor does a lot of people. It is good just to be quiet and check in with yourself or read. I would actually suggest bringing like a book that you actually want to read, because that's one of my favorite things to do during rest hour. So after rest hour, you have more classes. So that's going to be more playing your instrument, more music theory, more whatever you're doing. And so that's just basically the same thing. And so for some different art majors, I know in the 3-week theater ensemble and musical theater ensemble, you get an elective. And so electives are kind of just something else. So I made the really bad mistake of choosing more theater for my elective, and I also did sports for one of my electives. I don't know what came over me. I hate sports, but that's what I ended up doing it. And I made a good friend. We bonded over hating sports together. But what I would really suggest is doing something totally out of your spectrum. So if that's taking music theory or dancing or just doing anything that you find interesting, like photography or painting, even if you're a horrible artist, I would really suggest doing that. And you're going to want to sign up early, because I know I haven't gotten the things that I've wanted. Like I've wanted to take in fashion design. That's a cool one. I saw that fashion show and it was awesome. So I'd suggest after your second set of classes, you have dinner. Dinner is at 5 o'clock, which sounds early, but I'm always hungry. So. And dinner, you're gonna get back to your cabin as fast as you can. This is not a time to dilly-dally, to go to the library, to go get Mofro. You get back to your cabin, or your cabin will hate you. Because everyone has to be at your cabin in order for you to go to dinner, which is so annoying, but it is mandatory. And so they'll dismiss you, and you can go to dinner, and it is Pinecrest, and you're going to have to wait in a long line. And if you're in Lakeside, you're going to have to wait in a long line as well for breakfast. Sorry, Lakeside. That also has to do with being on our cabin. So after dinner is main camp time. So main camp time is one of the greatest times, not for the high schoolers. Warning, the high schoolers do hate intermediate main camp time, because it is when the intermediate girls are set loose on main camp. So at main camp, there is Mofro, which is very relevant in all ways, shapes, and forms, and is why I've talked about it so much. And there is also the Scholar Shop. And the Scholar Shop is kind of expensive. It has like food, it has a bunch of stuff, it has music sheets and little souvenir things. It can be expensive, and you need a slip to get anything from there. So unless you want to use your allowance for food or anything, It's really kind of a process. You need a voucher, and your counselor has to sign that, and they're not like roaming around with vouchers, so you're going to need to know what you want to get when you go down there, which makes buying things really difficult. So I wouldn't ask your parents to put too much money on there, because it's just, if you want to buy like a nice blanket or something, or you really do need something, you want to have like a good amount of money, but don't put like something ridiculous on there, because you can't use it that much. So after main camp time is a cabin activity or just chilling. I don't know, it changes from night to night. So if you have a cabin activity, that might be tie-dyeing, that might be walking to Bud's, which is about a mile away from Interlochen. It's this really delicious restaurant, and I'd really try to push for that as much as you can to go there, and you can have a co-rec with another cabin. That's how you get all the boys. And yeah, it's just kind of a time to be a camper, because you don't get a chance to do that. And then after that, you have a little bit of time to get ready to go to bed and brush your teeth and take showers and stuff. And you can also do that if it's just one of those chill nights where you're just hanging at camp. And you can also go to main camp, I think, in that time and check out your cell phone. So that's just kind of like a chill time. And then you have a talk with your cabin, so they might ask you a question, you all go around, whatever your cabin wants to do, whatever your counselors say. You might have a question and answer time, whatever. And then you have flashlight time, and so that's going to depend on what time it is, who your counselors are, if you guys deserve privileges, whatever, and so you can just be on your flashlight. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then you go to bed, and you wake up in the next morning to reveille. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you want to look at some more Interlochen videos, please just click anywhere around my head for the different ones. See you next time. Bye.